everyone. In this video, you're going to learn what are dimensions and measures, what is the distinction between them, as well as discrete and continuous fields in Tableau. Each data column, when imported to Tableau, gets a data type like date, string, like these category values, integer. Some of these sales figures are integer. Data can be classified into either of two groups in Tableau: discrete dimension or continuous dimension. Here, discrete dimension is more common, continuous measure, which is more common, or discrete measure. On the data pane, you can see measure names at the bottom, and all these values from measure names onwards are dimensions. Let's clear the view. Let's drag subcategory from data pane to rows. Subcategory is a dimension. It has qualitative values. It has 17 marks in it, as shown in the status bar at the bottom. Each of these subcategories, accessories, appliances, art, are members. Dimension members. Let's drag region to rows. Region is dimension. Central, east, south, west. These are dimension members. Dimensions are categorical qualitative values. For example, date, name, geographical information. They are used to categorize and dissect the data. It's how you slice and dice the data. Therefore, dimension determines the amount of granularity in data, as you can see in the number of marks shown in the status bar. Measures in the bottom of the data pane are numbers. Measures are numerical values, something that can be measured. That's why they are known as measures. Measures can undergo aggregation, which is used to compute descriptive statistics, as you would know. Let's create a new visual. Values, sales, category, subcategory. Make sure you're switched to entire view, as it makes it clearer. We are slicing and dicing sales by subcategory in category. This is a distinction between dimension and measure. Now let's take some other fields and change the positioning of variables. Remove subcategory, move sales to rows, quantity to columns, move sales to color. You can see light blue is in the lower end of the scale, around 2300. Dark blue is in the upper end of the legend, as large as 151,000. Sales is numerical, a measure. Quantity, category are qualitative, categorical information, a dimension. These oval elongated shapes are pills in Tableau. Anything green is continuous in Tableau. Both sales and quantity are continuous, so you have an axis for each field when moved to rows or columns, covering the range from min to max. Swap back sales from color, as quantity and sales are both continuous. These are green pills and they form a horizontal and vertical axis when moved to column and rows area. We'll switch to a line chart, as it is the best approach in such a case. Category is blue. Any blue field in Tableau is discrete. When you come across something green that is a continuous field, you should think of something forming an unbroken whole without interruption. Discrete field category, furniture, office supplies, technology are exclusively separate and distinct values. Discrete refers to values that are individually separate and distinct. Discrete have a finite range of values, whereas continuous have an infinite range. As you can see that a continuous field like sales get aggregated when it's moved to rows, such as here it gets summed up. Okay, conversely, what if quantity was discrete? We can change it. You can see that the color of pill changes to blue. Any blue field is discrete. Discrete values are individually separate and distinct. Since quantity is discrete now, it makes horizontal headers rather than an axis. Since quantity is discrete now, the best chart option would be a bar chart. So let's switch to bar. The color of the pill, if it's blue, and whether it makes headers when moved to the view will help you decide if it's discrete. In both cases, the previous and current chart, sales form a vertical axis being continuous and placed in rows. If sales was moved to columns, it would make a horizontal axis. In order to determine a given field is continuous, check the color of the pill. It should be green and it should undergo an aggregation when moved to the view here. Let's get order date to the view, specifically columns. Here order date is categorical qualitative information, a dimension. Year order date has individually separate and distinct values. It is discrete. Let's keep only order date and sales. As we are looking at discrete years, let's change it to bar, which is the optimal graph in such a case. 2016, 2017, 2018. Each of these is a discrete bucket. What if this was continuous? These ones are discrete. These bottom ones are continuous. We'll choose continuous months. Look down here. What we have got here is range in axis. So we'll switch to lines as that's the best way to view continuous dates. Both are green pills and continuous. They make horizontal and vertical axis. Date shows an entire range of axes from min to max. Green is continuous. When you think of continuous, what comes first to your mind? Forming an unbroken whole without interruption. And when you come across anything blue, it's discrete. Discrete refers to individually separate and distinct values. Here's a quick summary of what was covered now. These are a few key points for continuous versus discrete field. It also points out a few distinctions between them. I hope this helps. I've covered basic terminology, distinctions between dimension, measure, and discrete versus continuous. You will need a good grasp on this to use Tableau. Thank you for watching. Do share what topics you would like me to cover or any questions in the comments below.